In this lesson, we're going to begin filling out the rest of the shirt. Alright, so we need to form the shirt to the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my standard brush, and then I'm going to go up to my brush options here, and I want to go to the auto masking section. Now inside of auto masking, you're going to see this back face mask. Go ahead and turn that on, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to push and pull on this side of the polygons, and it won't actually take any of the back polygons in the shirt. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to start building up this area in between the breasts. The shirt should actually pull from the highest point in the breast. Okay, so it's going to stretch across this area. So we're not going to see shirts like this. You know, Supergirl in the comic books defies all physics in some of those comics. So we're not going to follow suit with that. So let's go ahead and let's use our standard brush. I'm going to take that brush size up just a little bit. I'm going to just start pulling this out. And actually, you know what? Let's use the clay brush. I think we can do something a little bit better with that. So let's just start to build that up. And you could even use clay buildup if you want. So that's CBC on there, and it's going to give us this brush or this square alpha on it. I think that might work a little bit better. So it's giving us these striations that we would see in the shirt as it's being pulled taut. Okay, and so we'll pull that across just like so, and then we'll actually smooth it out. You can see very quickly that we get this look on our shirt, okay, which is exactly what we wanted. So it looks good. Okay. Even underneath, right here, it's going to be pulled taut. Okay, so we're not going to get the shape of the breast underneath like that. It's not going to push in, and we've even got a little bit right here that needs to be brought up and smoothed out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll pull that up. Now we've lost some of the folds in there that we had, but that's okay. What we can do is we can just bring those back here in just a little while. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're getting rid of that information there. Now the shirt is still pretty tight around the side here. We're going to actually lose some of the shape here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to, you know, just stroke across the way the shirt is going to stretch, and then I just go in and I smooth it out. Okay, just like so, using that clay buildup brush. And then same thing underneath here. You're going to get the same sort of effect. And again, just pull across the way the shirt is going to stretch. And we may go down a subdivision level. Hit Control D a couple of times and do that. That might help out. Okay, so you get the same sort of thing. Now, again, what's happening here? Why do we get this idea? Oops, we forgot to do symmetry on that. Anyway, why do we get the idea that it should look more like this, that the shirt is actually going to pull in behind that? Why do we get that idea? Well, we kind of make that up in our minds. We know what the anatomy of a female looks like, and we just assume that, you know, physics and the construction of a shirt is going to form to that. And so, you know, kind of in our subconscious, we know what the shapes are, we know what's being made there, and so it just looks right. Okay, but if we're not really thinking about it, it looks right. But if we start thinking about how an actual shirt forms to the body, we'll start to see these subtle shapes. There's still the shape in there, but the cloth is pulling over that, and it's starting to hide some of these details. So we'll come in and we'll again start to create a little bit more stretching. And the only place that the shirt is actually going to conform or actually show these shapes is at the highest points. So like along the rib cage and across the breasts, obviously. You know, all of these are going to contribute to the shape of the shirt. Now, I wouldn't suggest, just going through this. Go ahead and Google is such a great place that you can search and you can find different references on just women's t-shirts, okay, and just kind of look at the kind of fabric that you want to create for the cloth, and then just start to pay attention to things like folds, and you can start cutting in and saying, all right, well, there's a little bit of a fold right in here, so that's being brought, taut there. There's a little bit of a fold in. It's trying to go back in between the breasts there, but it's not able to. Okay, and so you can start to come in and just add some of these different folds in there, things like that. Okay, we also need to come in and basically just get rid of the belly button there. That's not accurate. Okay, you're not going to be able to see that. Okay, we'll fill in a little bit more on the shirt. You might be able to see the abdomen. It would start to kind of pull in some of these areas. You might be able to see that shape a little bit, but more than likely what's going to happen is whenever we start to get the folds in, it's actually going to make those disappear. And so we're just kind of creating some strokes across the areas where the shirt's going to be pulling, and it'll start to fill that in. But we still get the idea. We can still see the shape. So this is looking more and more like a t-shirt now. And so now that we've filled in most of these areas, what we want to do now is we want to come in and start creating folds, because that's also going to contribute to the shape of the shirt. And so we'll get into that in our next lesson.